Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're here today with our own brand of tiller. This is made in South Korea, and eventually we will be making our own tiller here in the USA. But that's going to be, we've got quite a few implements to do in front of it, and that's going to be a while. So we found Steve that makes these tillers in South Korea. They're really good quality. They're like a lot of the other tillers that we sell that have the C-shaped tine that we really like. So for now, we're going to call these the Everything Attachments tiller. And they're of our quality that we don't mind standing behind this tiller 100%, just like we do all of our other attachments. Some of the things on this tiller way exceed what's normally sold on the American market. This tiller is sold in Korea for most of the OEM machines. So this tiller does come through a lot of the OEM dealers at a much higher price than we're selling them for. But we want to be able to give you the best quality at the best price at Everything Attachments. This particular style of tiller is a chain drive and comes from a 48-inch to a 74-inch. This is the 74-inch model. The 62 and 74 both have this larger gearbox. All of the gearboxes are a spherical gear like in the rear end of a car, meant for constant use and to be very quiet. Most of the gearboxes on every other tiller is pretty much a straight cut gear, which works, it's just not as smooth and meant for as much wear as these are. This has the nice C-shaped tine instead of an L-shaped tine, and I've used them both together, and it takes almost 2 passes of an L-shaped tine to do the same job as a C-shaped tine, because this is kind of like a knife blade, and it's able to cut the whole way across instead of just a straight and a piece here that's chopping at it. This works as it goes in. It penetrates just like a knife, especially when you have different crops on top of the ground that you're blending in, maybe old corn stalks or something. This really does a nice job in just one pass. So you do have 6 blades per rotor or per flange, a very heavy duty torque tube, and just like the Sigma tiller, you can completely unbolt this whole assembly to replace the blades or do any repair work. This gearbox has a 5-year warranty on it. It has a really heavy duty drive shaft, and we're going to go over that in just a minute. It has a neat way of being able to offset this tiller. If you want a little bit of offset, it does have a category 1 and 2 pins on it, and you can move these from side to side depending on what you want to do on your offset, or you can put them in the middle. So it has a lot of different ways you can offset this tiller. It's got the main tube in here where the drive comes down to the chain on this one. It also is supported with a complete tube to the other side just for strength. This is all heavy weldments, has a really nice powder coated paint job on it. We're going to spin it around to the side and go around the different features as we go. Over here on the inside, it's got a nice casted bearing inside there that is greasable on the outside. A big wide skid shoe here with different adjustments here for your heights. Roll around to the back. Has a full width tailgate on it. You're going to adjust this chain here to the type of dirt you have, whether you're wanting it really fine or coarse, and you'll adjust that between your tailgate setting and the speed of your tractor to get the consistency of the dirt that you want for the type of plants and the dirt that you have. Come on around to this side. Easy to fill the oil here, easy to check it right here. You simply fill it up till it runs out that hole. You have a drain right here if you want to drain it. This kickstand, instead of having a tube with a pin you have to remove and put the tube upside down, you simply remove the pin, flip it upside down. The kickstand's important because this is pretty much like a wheel, and it'll roll over and hit you if you don't have your stand down while you're trying to hook it up. Go around back. So we're really happy to have these and call them Everything Attachments tillers, because they do meet our quality standard, which is very high. These drive shafts, if you watch my how to cut a drive shaft video, that's going to be pretty much the most common shape and size and configuration of all the shafts that we sell, except for this one. You could cut the regular shaft with a handsaw with no problem. These shafts here, they're super heavy and they're a hexagon shape, similar to the drives that we use on the McMillan augers, and they're very thick. This is almost a ½ inch thick with a small hole in the center of it. Same way with this. So you might do it with a handsaw, but you're going to wish you had a power saw. So because the pins are so close to where the output shaft of the gearbox is, and your tractor is so close, in most cases it's just a common practice to have to cut the shaft to fit your tractor. So just keep that in mind. This shaft is going to be a little tougher to cut, but you can cut it, and you will probably, depending on the size of your tractor. Now this would go on a 35 horsepower up to a 60, 65 horsepower tractor with no problem. You could use it on more horsepower or less. Sometimes people will use it on less, take off a few tines if they need to make it pull easier. A bigger tractor can pull it. Theoretically, you could put this on a 100 horsepower tractor, but what would happen is if you try pulling it through the ground as fast as you have 100 horsepower, what will happen is you'll meet the requirements of the horsepower of the clutch and it'll start smoking. So you can use it on a big tractor, but you just need to pull it at a reasonable rate so you don't override the clutch. This is meant to break away and slip if you hit a rock or a stump or something in your garden, to protect the drive line of the tiller and your tractor. So that's pretty much it. We're really happy to have them at Everything Attachments. Someday we'll have our own built here in North Carolina, but we just have a lot of landscaping and gardening attachments to get done first. So give us a call or an email at Everything Attachments and we'll help size the right tiller for your tractor.